This guy here, he's quite the character. I like this Tanner fella. His Caldina here is all decked out with Star Wars, and he's got himself a turbo timer on there. All right, Tanner, there you go, buddy. She's running. It's just a battery ground. Getting used to that new clutch. Trying to find out whether everything feels normal to him in terms of the way it was before we pulled it. Let's see what he says. How's it go?
I think I almost cried.
You think you almost cried because it's working well? Oh, I'm glad, man. It's nice to see him happy after going without it for so long. Caldina love. Are you happy, man?
Too. It's like a stage 2 or something.
It seems a little different than it did before, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
So you're happy though?
Excited, I'm pretty cheeky.
Good. I'm glad you are, man. You get to enjoy your summer the way you want now, right? All right, so I finally got Tanner's Caldina all finished up. Changed that front bumper out because he ran into something in the winter, playing in the snow. So we changed the gearbox, put some new battery terminals, put a new clutch, and I don't know, a couple other things. New fluids, new pressure plate, new throw bearing. So hopefully this will be good enough to get him through the summer until spring. And then we'll change out the clutch with something a little better and put a Celica GT4 gearbox in there like I've done here. And I still got to get this corner here, this piece, glued back together and paint that bumper. It bugs me. It's looks like shit without it. So, but the idea, of course, is to take the engine and gearbox out of the Caldina and put it into the RAV4 GTT, so I can spend the summer camping and enjoying the off-road trails of Western Canada. This Caldina will make it back there, but I don't know. I don't want the paint all screwed up. So I think I'll put the Caldina in storage for the summer, as long as I find the time in the next few weeks to pull the engine from here and put it in here. So we've got another fella by the name of Al who's going to be coming by with a Caldina GTT, and he's got clutch issues or gearbox or shifter cable issues to try and figure out. So looks like I'm the Caldina gearbox swap guy up here in Canada. I don't mind. Done it so many times that it's just I do it in my sleep. So this one here kept me up because I couldn't get the car started. There's a bad ground. I had painted the gearbox. Of course, the gearbox in here now came out of my RAV4 GTT, and I painted the housing of the gearbox. And what happened was, where I put the ground terminal down, paint was between the aluminum and the actual bolts, so there wasn't enough ground for the battery to turn the starter over. So I was asleep at night. Well, I was awake at night trying to figure out what the hell the problem was. Came over here, the screwdriver, and scraped the paint away, put the terminal back down, and she started right up. So then it was off to bleeding the clutch, and then I couldn't get the clutch to engage. That was a little frustrating. So I thought maybe he had a worn slave cylinder, but he's got less miles on his than the Caldina here, and I really wasn't convinced it was a slave cylinder. So it ended up being the clutch pedal needed to be adjusted backwards a little bit so that the throw of the clutch had enough pressure behind the fluid to activate the slave cylinder. This guy here, he's quite the character. I like this Tanner fella. His Caldina here is all decked out with Star Wars, and he's got himself a turbo timer on there. Could do something about that wire, but it's fine. Love these cars. Caldina GTT. Anyways, guys, gotta put the washer fluid reservoir back in and put splash guards back on. And he's got summer tires in there. He wanted me to swap them out, but I'm not gonna have the time today, so I'm gonna make him do that. One happy Caldina camper.